Welcome back, America. I was just trying to get Adam to cue up the Butch Cassidy music at the end. Bring it up at any point that you can find it, Adam. Because I am joined by Derek Van Orden, Congressman extraordinaire from Wisconsin, one of our very favorite members of the United States House of Representatives. Did you ever see Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Derek?
Obviously, I did. Yeah, great movie.
Do you remember the end?
Paul Newman, right?
Yeah, you remember the end when they're in a Bolivian bank and they just rush out?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what I think Speaker Johnson's in right now. He's in the Bolivian bank. What's going to happen to him and to the leadership? What's going on, pal?
Well, what we saw yesterday was an exercise in raw political, in raw politics by the Democrat Party. And let me kind of break it down for people. So the initial bill that was presented to us at conference was unacceptable and foolish. It was a 1,400-page pile of drivel that included a pay raise for Congress. And I ran, and a lot of my colleagues ran on, our people at home can't afford to fill up a gas tank and a grocery cart in the same day. And I'm supposed to go back there and tell them, yeah, I get that you're hurting, but I'm going to give myself a pay raise. Hell no. So I was a hell no on that first package, really for that reason. There's a bunch of others, but that was the primary reason. I'm like, I'm not voting for this. And then that went back in, and they stripped away all of this pork. And it shouldn't be there. It just should not. What was left was the bare bones things that need to make sure that our government still functions. So our Border Patrol agents get paid, our military gets paid, our Capitol Police get paid. All of the social services remain intact. Our farmers, for me, most importantly, we have a farm bill extension, because if we don't vote for a budget that extends the farm bill by midnight tonight, the farm bill expires and we go back to permanent law, which is 1949, and the American dairy industry is going to be decimated in a week because it's going to cost $25 for a gallon of milk, and we're not going to be able to recover from that. That's unacceptable. We have the emergency provisions.
I didn't know that. This is what's so maddening about this, Congressman. I'm for a skinny bill. I just want the military to be paid. But are there anything other than the farm support that must pass?
Yes. The farm support that is the absolute has to pass. There's $10 billion in there also because we've had 3 terrible years for farmers, and they're going to go out of business. And people don't seem to understand it's cost prohibitive to start a farm up again now. If you wanted to start a 250 herd dairy farm, which is the average size of the farm in the state of Wisconsin, it's $4,000 per animal, plus about $3,500 to $4,000 per acre for land and for your building and for your machinery. You're talking millions of dollars just to get a dairy started, and we can't do that because there's no capital available because the Biden administration blew it all during COVID.
So Congressman, yes, we need a bare bones CR, and I want to pay the military. I want to make sure the farmers don't go out of business. What else has to be in? I'm not worried about shutting the government down for 2 weeks and figuring out a plan until the Schumer shutdown is over. But what has to be in that bill besides the military and the farms?
We have people in North Carolina in the winter in the mountains sleeping in tents still because the Biden administration didn't give them aid through FEMA because they had a Trump sign in their front yard. So we're trying to rectify that. There's emergency spending for the people that have suffered through these horrible weather incidences. We need to get them out of tents in North Carolina. So the emergency relief for the farmers that are getting buried so they don't go out of business, the extension of the farm bill for everybody else in the agriculture industry so they don't go out of business, our dairymen, the people that in Florida that are hurting, they need relief now. You can't wait 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 3 months for Congress to get their act together. That's got to happen. And then we need to raise the debt ceiling to make sure that President Trump has room to maneuver. Now, that could wait until reconciliation.
Yeah, I think that can wait. That can wait. I'm looking for you are actually, I want people to understand, Congressman Van Orden is a SEAL. Congressman Van Orden has gone into places far more dangerous than Congress, far more dangerous than I've ever been, and he's had to do things that you and I have never had to do. So he gets to the bottom line in a hurry. This is a hot wash of a disaster of yesterday. What has to be in this bill that the Democrats can't turn down, Congressman? We got like 4 minutes. I want to know.
There has to be, okay, here it is, continuing resolution, extension of the farm bill, the farm relief and the emergency provisions for the people that are sleeping in tents in North Carolina, period.
Oh, I add one more thing, Congressman. I add paying the military. And I say
No,
that because...
Look, Hugh, that's in the CR. That means that they're getting paid. That's there, 100%. Remember, dude, I was an enlisted guy. Hugh, I was an enlisted guy with 4 kids who went through the shutdown, the long one. I went through that, and it was BS.
You know, that's what I told people. You didn't have a choice to leave, right? Every other Fed can quit. You can't quit if you're in the military. We've got to pay you.
And listen, dude, I want everyone to, I put in a bill last year when we were talking about this stuff that if there's a government shutdown, the only entity, and I mean the only entity that does not get paid is Congress. And we don't get back pay. So the military gets paid, the post office, which I love, by the way, gets paid. The Border Patrol gets paid. All the bills get paid. The lights stay on. But Congress, the members of Congress, that's the House and the Senate, do not get paid, and we do not get back pay.
I'm good with that. But Congressman, would you tell people what the enlisted young men and women make? They really can't skip a paycheck.
You're looking at E1 to E2s making $22,000 to $28,000 a year.
And a lot of them are married. I used to live in Southern California. I'd see all the young married Marines, and they're barely making it. They're eating government food stamp food. We cannot not pay people who can't quit. That's my bottom line. Everyone else can quit and go get a different job, but you've got to pay the military.
We can't not pay the people that are making poverty level wages that are willing to leave their family for months at a time and get killed to protect us.
Yeah. That's fine. So, Mr. Van, I might nominate you to be Speaker. I just nominated Chip Roy to be Speaker in the new House because I like you both. Chip is a very sincere and smart guy. I know he's a hawk on fiscal matters, but here's the key line. If we get a bare bones CR and most of the government shuts down, by January 3rd, can we have a plan, please? There's no reason that the Republicans can't have a plan for the first 20 days before Waltz goes off to the White House, Stefanik goes to the UN, the special election for Gates or Health. There's no reason we can't do this, right?
Yes. Here's the issue. This is the bare bones issue. We have Republicans who operate on an ideological basis, meaning they're gonna do one thing no matter what, and they really don't. Some of them can't open their aperture, and I understand that. I respect a lot of people that voted no for this, even though I fundamentally disagree. I think it's very short-sighted what they did, including Chip. And then we've got Democrats, 196 Democrats voted against that skinny, and it was bare bones, other than the debt ceiling. They voted against that for political reasons, which is hard to negotiate with. So 196 Democrats voted against a continuing resolution to take the money out of the military. They wanted to defund the government, shut down the military. They want to screw our farmers over in the entire agriculture industry, and they want people sleeping in tents in North Carolina. That's the fact. I mean, that's real. They did that for political reasons, and we know that because every single Democrat that voted no on that yesterday has voted for every one of those provisions other than a debt ceiling.
Oh, good point.
All of them. Boom.
Good point. Well, I hope they bring it back without the debt ceiling, without the debt limit stuff. Just bare bones. I don't even care if they shut down 80% of the government, but Congressman, just tell me, is anyone getting a plan together to go to Mar-a-Lago and hammer this out? Because there is no reason that we can't do a reconciliation of budget, a CR, on January 3rd. Is there?
I don't know if anyone's getting on a plane to Mar-a-Lago, but hopefully there's people in Mar-a-Lago getting on a plane to come up here.
Has the president declared President-elect Trump, whether he wants one or two budget reconciliation packages? Because that's the big decision. This government shutdown is a little decision, but the big decision is one or two budget reconciliations.
That is still being talked back and forth, and we're trying to figure out the actual. So my point is this. I mean, the president's team has signaled that they would like to. My personal point is we can't even get this CR through right now. Do you think we're going to be able to get two through? And again, we got just less than half the House, 200 and whatever Democrats, are willing to torpedo the entire country for political purposes. Don't forget that.
Amen. We should do one package. The reality is, if they're not planning on one package, they're not planning on winning in 2026. Congressman Van Orden, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.